All right, guys, here we are back in the shop. I'm gonna be getting on this door. I gotta hurry up because I want to get this done. I don't know if it's just owning a business by yourself, not having any employees, stuff like that. It's just, progress is just hard to get done. I just progress just like escapes me somehow. I just gotta run around doing this, doing that. I gotta get this door done. So enough BSing. Let's take the door back off. Let me finish out that flange that I welded on yesterday, and then start welding on the other flanges and just get this skin ready and then start making the bottom of the door skin. Get that welded on, flanged, all that stuff. It's gonna be a little different because when I make the bottom of the skin, I can incorporate the flange into it. I don't have to, weld on a flange. Alright, so from this hinge here around the door and to here, I have it all tacked up and ready, planished and ground, or ground, planished, ground, to now fully weld. Hopefully this will be nice and easy to finish because I did all the work to get there. When you planish all your tacks and finish them off like it's fully welded, it's easier because there's not a ton of weld you gotta do. And B, it puts everything in place for when you're welding. It doesn't really distort as much or shrink as much as if you just welded it straight up, like tacked it, didn't planish it and do this, and then you just welded it. It'll be harder for you to get the panels even because you're trying to move the whole weld. If you do the tacks and move it, you're only trying to move these little tacks, and then you get the panels nice and flush, everything's happy, right where it wants to be. So when you go to weld it, finishing that full weld off is a lot easier. It does take time, but I feel like you save time finishing off the end product. I don't know, that's just me. So let's get welded. Alright, so I'm gonna try to do this, as much as I can, as fast as I can, as consistent as I can. That's the word I'm looking for, consistent. Because when your welds are consistent, then your the finishing process is going to be easier. So my little piece is ready. I shouldn't have to add much filler because when I cut right on the scribe line, I scribed it perfect, cut it almost perfect. You can't really beat perfect, but it's close enough. And so I think I did a pretty good job. So everything's nice. Oh yeah. Everything's flat. It should be enough tacks that in between the tacks shouldn't move. It might, but it should. Only one thing left to do. Weld. All right, so I got this all welded. Now we'll see if the process that I do is worth it. I know I need to touch up a couple spots, a little bit of porosity, but we'll see what's going on here. See how you weren't seeing any real sparks? Because I'm not like trying to grind into this thing. I'm really trying to just like sand it. Sand that weld down. This thing throws off a few, but see, for the most part, without hammer dolly and anything, this kind of went away. Really didn't have to try. So we'll see what else. And I'm still trying to focus most of my sanding pressure on the new metal. Because I don't want to thin any of the old stuff out if I don't have to. Obviously you're going to touch it a little bit just to blend it, but you don't want to take any material away. So I'm going to go around and do that, get most of the highs knocked off, and if it's blending out perfect, like over here, down at the bottom, I'll just continue and finish it out, then I'll just lightly go over with the planishing hammer. Well, the planishing hammer, knee, and even it out. Alright, so as you can tell, the door has a whole new flange on the top. Looks good. Now I'm just starting to do this part here on this skin. Here it's complicated, so probably going to do some edge welding when it comes time to hem the skin over. I'll get everything hemmed, the easy parts, and then this here I'll make a strip of metal. Start tacking it to the edge, pound it down, tack it here, pound it into the thing, into the bead, so it looks nice. Because you're not gonna, if you try to put a flange on something like this, bend it over, you're gonna lose the detail on this corner. You're gonna lose the detail on the edge of the bead. Just stay safe and stay away from it. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna continue doing this guy. This is next, and then I'm gonna do the other side, and then I'm gonna cut it away, cut it off, and put the whole strip of edge just like this going right over the what do you call it, the hinge slots, and then I'll cut those out later instead of dealing with two little short pieces, getting them lined up. One span across the whole thing, and I'll get it welded up. But I'll come back when that's done, because it's a lot of more of the same, I wouldn't say boring stuff, but more of what you just saw. Me hammering, grinding, hammering again, planishing it, welding, all that kind of stuff. Same exact stuff. I just gotta go around the door. So I'll come back when that's all set, and then we'll start hammering out a door skin patch for the bottom. So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna use my new 19 gauge. See how much easier it is to shape, and yeah, it should be good. It should be fun. All right, so I got the edge welded around the whole thing. Well, besides these parts I was talking about. Got that one welded on. This side welded on. Now I got my patch. So I got this 19 gauge. Gotta lube it up. I'm gonna fire up the hammer. After I tighten this up, I noticed this, and I know a few people also noticed this on the video. Getting loose, so haven't tightened it in a while, so I'm gonna go around and tighten all the bolts on it, make sure everything's a-okay, because this thing shakes a bunch, so it shakes itself apart. That was just to get the burrs down. See what happens. So I got my patch here clamped down to the inner. The old inner is kind of flopping in, don't worry about that. I'm going to scribe along the line here and then go 3/8, or I'll do a test piece on my flanging machine, flanging die, not my flanging machine. I don't have a flanging machine, but my flanging dies, and I'll see the exact length that, you know, the flange takes up, and then I will transfer that to here. Hopefully I have a piece of tape that's the same width. I don't think so. That's some skinny tape, but oh yeah, I think the flanging die is a little bit, you know, in a perfect world I would have 3 hands, but you know, I don't know. Kind of fits that perfectly. This might be the same size. So I might transfer that after I scribe it. But let me scribe it first, figure out the flanging dies, and then it'll probably be time to hit the road. We've been making a lot of progress on this door. I know it's only one door. That's just how it is. If you want it done right, it takes time, and you know, I don't know, that's it. I don't have any excuses, because it's not an excuse, it's just the way it is. Let me scribe this, hopefully get it cut out before I gotta go. So let's do that. What do we got here? I had a whoopsie when I cut the the piece off of my 4x8 sheet. It's like exactly a 1/2 inch, so I should be all right. Because I know that that flanging die is, I think it's supposed to be 1/2 inch, but it actually flanges to like a little less than 1/2 inch because it takes some material when it does it. So I think I should be all right. So I'm gonna clamp this and see what we're looking like. Actually, let me do this first. All right. So we'll set the flanging dies up and do a test piece. Well, I'm kind of lucky that the top die is already in it. Oh, it's facing the wrong way though. Okay. Not the end of the world, just annoying. I do it so the bottom die pushes up on the top, so that centers it. And then bring it back down. I wish I had like an extension loop. Yeah, I don't want a wheel. I still like this, but it just runs into this. It's kind of annoying. Okay, let's get a piece. Let's do it. Okay, so I got a piece here. This is a cutoff actually of that piece. Mark off a 1/2 inch. Okay, did 4 marks here. One is going all the way down is 1/2 inch, and then every 16th up. I don't think I need that many, but never know. Okay. So far, it's in between 1/2 and 7/16. So it's what? 15, 16? No. 15, 30 seconds? Okay, let me turn this. I want this to cut myself. I don't want to cut myself. That's right. makes a 1/2 inch flange. You just gotta make sure you're pushing in to that stop here, to that claw. Okay, cool. So now I know I can just put a 1/2 inch flange around the whole thing, put it through the flanger, and it should come out fine. Might have to shrink the flange a little bit to make it perfect, but I think it'll be all right. Ooh, this is 3/4 tape. I need 1/2 inch tape. Okay. Let me see if Andy's got any 1/2 inch tape. All right, so he's got every single size besides 1/2 inch and 30 seconds. And yes, I could have just gotten 2 different sizes and done the double thing, but I'm not going to take 2 rolls of tape from him, so hard way it is. Which, you know, whatever. Just going to go along the whole thing with the tape measure. Go. 1/2 inch, 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 1/2 inch. And then connect the lines. You know, backwards. It's hard to show you guys what's going on. It seems to be on the line pretty good, on the scribe line, so I'm just going to keep going. This is my only little whoopsie, but I might have to fix that with a hammer and dolly at the end. Short on material.